Hello everyone and welcome to this Henrik explains why there is no PvE server and there never will be a PvE server. This is discussed a lot at Reddit and at Mortal Online 2 forums, and over the years many people came with arguments why a PvE server is a good idea or why this is a shit idea and stuff like that. But in the end, what would be the benefit of a PvE server? Many Mortal Online players don't see a benefit in this. I also don't see a benefit in this. Maybe it's a awesome idea. But the thing is, it came up over the years, all the time, and also for Ultima Online, I guess it was called the Tremel patch or something like that. And I guess the overall feeling is that if you want to make a hardcore game not so hardcore, then why do you even start playing a hardcore game? So I don't know. So I try not to judge any suggestions, but it's funny that this question gets to Henrik all the time. Like when we will have a PvE server? Will we get a PvE server? I don't like PvP and stuff like that. And I mean, people suggesting I don't like PvP in an open world PvP game. I don't get it. I don't get it. And maybe this video can spread a little bit awareness about this thing, and maybe many people will stop actually asking for that, because Starbolt already confirmed no, they will never do that. They will never do a PvE server and they will never remove PvP. I mean, I can understand some arguments why maybe a PvE server could get more players to the game, but I don't know. I mean, this would break the one server, one world thing, and this is what makes it truly unique. So why should you break this? I mean, many are pissed because they get killed all the time just by leaving the city, for example. But yeah, that is the case in an open world PvP game. But anyway, let's hear what Henrik has to say about the whole topic. So maybe it's also a perspective of the consequences. Just for example, if you are a PvE only player or whatever, then maybe it's better to suggest harder consequences instead of a PvE server that will never come anyway. It doesn't matter if you suggest it or not. But other stuff can be done. But stuff like a PvE server will never be done. So if you leave feedback and suggestions, please use the Mortal Online 2 forums. The developers reading this more or less all the time. They don't write in there because every time they write in there, it was a huge problem. So they stopped writing in there. I mean, I'm just a PvE player and I don't like the suggestion of a PvE server because where is the danger? If you accomplish something, if you got items, if you hunted down some big thing and stuff like that, when there wouldn't be PvP or there wouldn't be the risk involved in getting killed or in getting engaged with someone or getting I don't know, getting jumped in a dungeon and stuff like that. Without that, it would be boring. Just in my opinion, I don't know. I'm just more or less only PvE player since 10 years in Mortal Online, and I don't know, it's just my perspective. I don't know if that is your opinion, but please leave your opinion in the comments. So, but first, let's hear what Henrik has to say about all this.
Answer my question, can't we have a PvE server, please? The game is so nice, but I can't play it because I'm not a PvP player. I love the PvE content in the game. We need a PvE server, please. July 12. So we have built the game in mind for one world, one server, one rule, and yeah, so obviously we're following up on seeing how does new player get into the game, what does players like and dislike, and what are the problems, and what does the PvP players want, what does the PvE players want, because we still strongly believe that if we do things right, there are very exciting features and areas for all these different types of players, which is the goal. The more players we have with different gameplay interest, the more interesting game world will be. But yeah, there will always be these threats of danger and obviously players that may attack when you're out in the wild and there's no protection. So we're not planning to add specific PvE players. We are trying to balance the world with proper consequences, we haven't really finished the different areas in terms of security, as we mentioned before. Similar to EVE Online, there's everything from high security to null sec security, and that is something that we want to approach as well, and where it makes sense, where the Ternemic Empire, for instance, have their outposts. Those outposts will never be, lictor powers where they can instantly kill, or very close to instantly kill. It will be dangerous or powerful guards that can protect players, but it's just like a powerful evil NPC also that you can fight. And obviously players will be able to sign up and participate in these nation conflicts or ignore them or whatever they want. But obviously if you want to get as much protection as possible, play safe and avoid PvE, then obviously you want to avoid these hotspots, PvE areas, and you may want to play close to guard cities, outposts that can also protect you, and also join guilds or cities that are building with heavy protection and defense as well. And I think if you look at what kind of interesting gameplay that can offer you, even though you may not be interested in PvP and think that is hindering you, I still think that it can add a depth of mystical feeling, experience, and danger that can add to the gaming experience overall, even though it's not the main thing you're looking for in this game, if that's not what you are looking for, I mean. So with this system also going into the game, and we have several PvP features and components being added to the game as well, this should also make PvP interested players more excited to go for these areas and to fight for that rather than jump innocents that leaves cities or go into casual locations. And then of course there are also the opposite, unlawful zones and areas where you can't even report or flag because it's in the wild without anyone ruling or seeing what's going on over there. So I think this balance over time will help greatly, and also still add this, again, layer of there could be this unforeseen threat that may happen that could also actually give some exciting gaming experience. So I hope it makes sense what we're really trying to go for, and this won't just happen in one patch in one day. As soon as more of these features goes into the game, I think that will help this area to give more options for the players and the styles. Right in the concept, but the problem is there isn't enough to do for PvEers out there in the world to make it feel worth venturing out and face the dangers. So that is something we're already building on. So earlier in the stream, I mentioned that we have 93 new points of interest. Awesome PvE, lore tied, clues, all types of different hidden things and rewards and threats. That is, very PvE content. Obviously, those may also attract PvP players. That is, the nature of it. But you will see a lot more PvE going in upcoming patches, for sure.
So with more PvE content and with maybe harsher consequences, it depends on what the people want in Mortal, so it depends on your opinion. Please leave it in the comments, leave it in the Mortal Online 2 forums, discuss it on the Discord, and just spread it everywhere. Where if you have good ideas how to solve this problem, maybe to even get more people into the game, but without changing the game too much. And without breaking the core rules of the game or the core design of the game. This is very, very difficult, and chapeau for Henrik for trying this all the years. So let's look how the game will be in a few years. Maybe it will be not the same like now. Maybe it will be better than now. Maybe it will be worse than now. It also depends on the viewpoint. Anyway, special thanks to all the supporters. Carmel, the Festhaus, Love of Gaming, Temple, Lord Skill, Frederick, Rhonus, Paarthurnax, Vinya, Cologne, Bulldog, Xunila, you, and all the others, of course. So always PvE hardcore, party hard, and see you all next time. Goodbye.